Welcome back. We're here to cover the Karmic Third Party's energy between now and the end of this month, moving into February. And it does look very interesting, especially from the perspective of what they're currently dealing with, how they're reacting to these circumstances, and what these things directly can be. Now, they're very blurred where it comes to their dreams, their aspirations, who they are. This could also be because our nodes have shifted this month. And so for a lot of people that, have not experienced the Pisces energy in the nodes, or I remember back to, I think it was about 2017, 18, we had Chiron transitioning through Pisces. For me, I did experience a lot of shadow work, and, it could feel like we're having an identity crisis. We might feel quite isolated. We could feel quite codependent. It's interesting because the sun on this card is in the reversal. So, where they're going, who they are, what they're doing, maybe using pacifiers to deal with their stress levels. This could also be because of the moon energy that we experienced this month. And, really moving into the following month, it's only going to intensify with those Pisces energies. So these individuals here in the mix are feeling quite blurred about, really who they are, where they're going, what their dream is it even real? And how do they go about this? And it's funny because there can be some really unfinished business here that has not kind of ever really been addressed. And that is another thing that we directly can find in our shadow sense, or being in a karmic relationship, doing shadow work. We looked at the past position here. We have the lotus flower and it's in reverse. And the signification of this, of what's been shown to me, is it can be some unfinished business associated to wounds. So patterns, habits, belief systems, attachments, they can all be coming through in the Virgoian energy, but be triggered by the Pisces energy. And there is supposed to be a change and a transition. So control-related dynamics, codependency, all of those things in a shadow sense are sort of like coming back to haunt oneself. Now, do these people feel directly connected? They could feel like the black sheep of the family. They may feel as though there is some feelings of isolation. They could feel as though the passion in their heart chakra is not being addressed, and how do they get it? And there's this push-pull dynamic, and there could be a lot of anger really boiling to the surface. And so, really for them to try and find the axis of who they are outside of these circumstances, it's almost like these circumstances are triggering them more so than them actually having the focus directly on themselves. The focus is very much on the external, on coping mechanisms, and things happening extremely quickly. And I did say towards the end of the month, because we have Uranus and Taurus moving direct, sometimes it can spirit, in the end, it ends up being better for us. But it's drastic sudden change, especially with the moon in Aquarius. So I see these individuals maybe experiencing, this could be tower moments, it could be sudden drastic change. It could be having to face the darkness of a circumstance and going through a painful kind of rebirth and a painful reassessment of who they directly are, with a hidden jewel within a teardrop. It just doesn't feel fun. Okay, let's just put it that way. Facing fears, subconscious release, and healing. Now, we do see a lot of darkness on this card. Mars being in the house of Cancer can be to do with their family, the tree linking to family, directly impacting their health, unhealthy boundaries, feeling like a victim in circumstances, getting angry about those circumstances, be it it's with kids, be it it's with our own inner needs and nurturing ourselves. The karmic third party here in the mix is getting extremely frustrated, but directly triggered by the physical environment, by the circumstances occurring to them, for them, although they do not see it this way at this point in time. And so the focus really isn't on them as per se, even though it does have a lot to do with them, if that makes sense. Now, there is an opportunity here to rise above this circumstance. Clarity, freedom, solution. So there is. there is, I may even pull a clarifier on this, and I haven't really done that lately because I've felt very clear about the messages that the guides have shown, but it's almost like they want us to dig deeper. This could be for these individuals' sake, especially if they're really struggling in their life. Yeah, it's a new beginning. It's almost like going it alone, needing to go it alone, needing to find that power within themselves, maybe even having to learn to trust the process of even the good and the bad of the things that happen in life. Trying to find peace in a storm. Whenever we get the ones, it's almost like we've gone from the 0 to the ones and we're being full card and tarot. But we're like out here in the desert and it's like, yeah, but I've got no tools. Like, okay, I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z. And now it's like, okay, well, where's the raincoat? Where is the, where's the sunscreen? Whatever that be. Yeah, really not owning their power. Again, looking outside themselves but not realizing they got more power, projecting this onto other people, which is causing fights, especially in the karmic third party situation. And they're really looking at another person as the person that is the solution to this, but this person's not enabling. There could be some monetary situations that they're really struggling with as well, and their value systems between the dynamic of the intimate connection is also really not panning out. And this is coming as an absolute surprise. It could feel as though two parties here in the mix are on opposite pathways. This also can be an ending of a karmic cycle, and so this person's really spiraling. And again, really putting a signature on. They only had really one path in mind. And, was it really a path, or was it more they're wanting what other people have, but it's more the surface value of it, but they're not going below the surface. Okay, so they're trying to get away from, it's like something's gone down, but they're also sort of like sugarcoating it. Like, it's okay. I'm going to be able to resolve this. I'm going to be able to get into this peaceful place when I get back to this space of what my direct goal was. But this feels it's a more permanent thing. It doesn't feel, this disillusionment they have, it's almost like they're not realizing something is leaving at a very permanent level. There can be some jealousy associated to it. This also can be manipulation. Okay, we're going to look at the outcome card. We're going to dig deeper here. They're not. God. I'm hearing two's company, three's a collab, but they're not even realizing that something's gone. It's denial. That's the word. There's a denial energy here. There is no communication. This is something that's been cut off in this person. It's almost like a bit of PTSD, a bit of an identity crisis, feeling as though the path, they're still on the path. They're still, on this road with the connection. It does seem to be that if they are in a romantic connection with counterpart, it does feel as though there is a total kind of, how can I best articulate it? It's almost like their version of it isn't the reality version of it. And so it's like something they're telling themselves to keep themselves going. But something very sharply does end and is removed. This could be through just having this revelation, oh my gosh, we're really not on the same page, but then really mentally and psychologically shutting down and going, no, it's okay, I'm just going to proceed forward. But for some, it could be that this person well and truly, A, has already left the building, or B, is leaving the building. But regardless, their response is the same. It's total denial that there is an issue. For some, it could be that they are using pacifiers to deal with their stress levels. They're like, I'm not seeing things clearly. I'm not in control of my reality. Disillusioned, denial, Not really good. That's all I can say. Not a coherent perspective. Yeah, not a coherent perspective at all. So it's very day and night. I mean, we look at the first row and there's something very quickly happening. They're moving into it. Old wounds of the past coming back up that they never really, this is something they knew was going to come to a head. But their old behavioral patterns has kind of impacted the connection. And an old pattern is being repeated. And although there can be peace, it's almost like, okay, peace can return in this circumstance. It takes two to tango, and it does appear to be that this is more on their side of a desire than the other person's side. Yeah. Resentment that this person that they were dealing with has gone their own way. This also can be for some individuals in a karmic cycle with our retrogrades, can be people watching in at what this person is doing after the fact of breaking up with them. And this could have happened a long time ago for some, but definitely I would say at a collective level, the karmics are really not accepting a transition, not accepting a dynamic, and in disillusionment and really having to face their shadow this year, not just this month, this year, of, making peace with where people are supposed to be, making peace with maybe being open to self-focusing and looking at some of the problems they have so that they can be open to love in a brand new chapter. We will check in with this energy next week. We also do have the masculine and the feminine out, so go and take a look. Otherwise, I will see you all next week or for any of our scheduled lives. Take care.